Shifting focus a bit, an undisclosed US intelligence report has been released by the Wall Street Journal, which is raising questions over the origin of COVID-19 yet again. Now, the report says that 3 researchers from the Wuhan Institute of Virology had sought hospital care in November 2019 before China disclosed any information about the virus. Now, this new development is coming just ahead of a key meeting of the WHO, which is under pressure to further probe the origins of the virus. The WHO, if you remember, in February had concluded that the virus was likely not made in a lab. Now, this is what the Wall Street Journal report is claiming. 5 things which China will find difficult to answer. We are expecting a response from them in their daily press briefings that they usually do. First of all, the big revelation at the Wall Street Journal report is that there was suspicious activity that was going on in the Wuhan Institute of Virology, and they are quoting a US intelligence report. This is not reportage that is based on the ground, but a US intelligence report. Then they are saying that there were at least 3 researchers from this lab who needed hospitalization in 2019 from a mystery disease, which was very akin to the symptoms that are displayed when you get COVID-19. So what was this about? How did in 2019 3 researchers at this lab get infected or need hospitalization from symptoms that were very similar to COVID-19? Then China in any case had hid information before disclosing the pandemic. The pandemic had already stuck, but China had concealed it from the world. Why did they do it? The CCP says, this Wall Street Journal report, quoting a US intelligence report, the CCP intentionally ignored knowledge about the virus. They were asked, they said we don't know anything about it. And the virus began spreading much before December. So December is when China told the world about COVID-19 and the pandemic in their country. But this US report, intelligence report, is saying that the virus in China had begun spreading much before December. Let me go straight across to Aditya Raj Kaul, who is joining us live on the story. Aditya, some questions here which China will find difficult to explain. We are in a habit to see them lie through their teeth. I'm assuming that is what is going to happen today in their daily, their daily press briefing when the question is asked of them.
Absolutely, Shreya. The world needs answers, and the world needs answers now. It's been more than a year. There have been several questions and criticism of China and the communist regime out there for hiding facts, for not, warning the world in advance about these realities. But the question right now certainly is that how much time will China take to come out with these facts? With the new latest US intelligence report, it's abundantly clear that there were at least 3 researchers and scientists within the Wuhan Institute of Virology who had taken ill, who had symptoms similar to the coronavirus, and were admitted and needed hospitalization way before December 2019. So there were tremors, there were some indications that were coming in from Wuhan. Then why did China take so long to in fact warn the entire globe about the same? Also within weeks and months, where did the virus completely vanish from Wuhan and China? So there are several questions that need answering. Of course, WHO needs to answer as well. There's been immense criticism of WHO and Dr. Tedros for not revealing to the world and also not questioning China enough. For the fact-finding mission also not being put up in time to investigate and research in greater detail. With the latest US intelligence report, it is abundantly clear that questions are still hanging in the air, and the world certainly needs answers. And it is time now that the China and the communist regime and perhaps the PLA and the researchers at the Wuhan Institute need to come out with facts, need to face questions, and also allow the fact-finding team without any kind of hand-holding or any kind of a guided tours that they have got till now.
All right, we'll leave it there for the moment. Aditya, thank you very much. Hearing from other people as well, let's listen into what experts are now saying.
I don't know whether the WHO can actually play a role or not, because the WHO's role until now, in the last almost year and a half since the virus has been discovered, has been pretty dubious. And there are very serious allegations against WHO for kowtowing to the Chinese, for actually speaking the Chinese language. and not even examining the origins of the virus the way it should have been examined. Now, it's certainly not my case that one way or another that this is a lab-developed virus gone wrong, but there are serious questions which are being raised about the origins of the virus. There are, the circumstantial evidence all seems to point towards that.
The pressure has to be exerted on the WHO to conduct an impartial investigation into the origins of the virus in Wuhan. Number one. The credibility of the WHO has taken a beating. Number one, with the WHO giving a clean chit to China, initially on no human-to-human transmission. So some specific dates have been missed out when in January first week, the Chinese disclosed it to the WHO about the human-to-human transmission.
This is news coming in on the vaccine front. The RDIF and Pankia Biotech will be launching the production of the Russian vaccine Sputnik V in India. They will be producing 100 million doses of Sputnik V per year. Let me go straight across to Runjhun Sharma, who's joining us on the phone line. Runjhun, this sounds like good news, but the pertinent question is, when will this production start? By when will we start getting Sputnik V in the sort of numbers that we now require?
If I can give you data till now, Shreya, the first shipment of Sputnik V that had come into India was about 150,000 doses of the vaccine. The second shipment which came into India was only 60,000 doses. So as far as the doses that were imported from Russia to India, and of course here in India, it went to the Global Distribution Center of Dr. Reddy's lab in Hyderabad. There were about 210,000 doses. So very few in number. Now, we've just seen Sputnik. We also tweet out saying that RDFI and Biotech in India will in fact be producing Sputnik V and 100 million doses per year. It sounds like, Shreya, you said a good number, a yearly number, which in fact could benefit the Indian population, considering the fact that we'd also, apart from Sputnik, we have at least 7 more vaccines. But when can that reach the market? When can that reach vaccination centers? That seems to be unclear at this stage. It would take at least a few weeks before we can see Sputnik V reaching all the states, so that states can directly contact the manufacturers, which is Dr. Reddy here, but they should have enough doses to be able to distribute it to states.
Okay, we'll leave it there for the moment, Runjhun. Thank you very much. With vaccines on his mind,